you ask me what is your best hope. My hope is that within the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years, we will start to rebuild and to change and replace the values at the level of the society. To focus more on positive differences, to focus more, for example, on what works and what do we have and not what is missing. For example, in countries like Austria or Caroline, yours in Sweden, these are so rich countries, and I don't mean rich in terms of money. I mean rich in terms of competence, of experience, and young people, open-minded, and so on. And when you look into the newspaper, or when you go to the parliament in Vienna or in Stockholm, and you listen the people, you read the newspapers, you have the impression, oh, what's happened there? It's a mess. It's terrible. Nothing works. Everything is bad. Only criticisms you can hear, and so on. And you don't have the focus. I think only few people. It could be much more people who focus what is there. What do we have? What is the richness of all the things, and not only on the questions that is missing. Sometimes I use the metaphor, if I hope I know the proper English words. If a little man from the Mars, you understand a little Mars?
Yeah.
Little man from
an
the
alien,
Mars?
yeah.
An alien will arrive at Earth with his rocket or his space shuttle, and he will listen, for example, to the radio, or he watches TV and talks to some people, and gets all the information about all that negative things and what does not work and so on. I'm really sure he will immediately leave the earth, and he will say, oh, that's not a good place to live, and will fly to the next planet and so on. Okay. Because there is a collective mindset of focusing on the negative differences, and that would not be the problem, because sometimes it is very important to talk about the difficulties of some young people who have 2 or 3 children, and it's not really easy for them, but not on focusing what's the reason why it is so difficult, but focusing on the question what should be different so that it is much more easier, or a little bit easier, for everybody in our society. And that's a shift in thinking that is necessary. And as long as we have thinking narrow-minded and negative-minded and negative-oriented thinking in the society and all the media, and of course then in the language, and the children learn that language, of course, when they grow up, it's difficult in organizations to change that. And one of my biggest hopes is that we can go on to change language and to change the attitudes of the people step by step towards a more positive-oriented, and positive-oriented means on positive differences-oriented way of thinking.
So you think that the word potential is a better frame in that?
Sorry?
Do you think that the word potential is a better frame for, if you think about, we have 100 young men who hasn't got any job, that's a problem. But if you think, okay, we have 100 men, that is fantastic potential in 100 men, and what can they do with their life, or
Yeah, exactly. And I think it's the attitude. If you have the collective attitude in the society that there is potential, and that every human being has potential, then you will make different decisions, not by excluding people, but by including and integrating more people. And that's exactly what I mean. That's the way of thinking and the values. And I don't mean political, the values of the political parties. I mean the most important sense of human being, and for me, that's unfold the potential of one human being, of the individuals, and also of the society, of course. And if you look at that class, with potential-focused classes on the society, you can't avoid to see all that richness that is here. And I don't mean that in a way that we should think positive, or that this is an appel to think positive, but to have a closer look on what is really there, all the things. And I think that's really impressive, and something I think with all that media that we have and all that classes that people use, they are blind something. All the positive difference, they couldn't see that, and they have only this class where they can see all the negative gaps, and especially all the negative gaps in future. People like it to talk about the future and all the things that could happen when it will be worse, and so on. But that's a question of perception and construction reality.